Hey, yo, man, what time is it?
You know what time it is, man.
2 a.m.?
Yeah, man.
Man, you know what?
What's that?
It's 8:46, bro.
Wow, that's deep.
Yeah, you know what time that is.
Yeah, man.
Nappy head,
Yo,
Funk Army.
what's up?
Stand up. Get in line, y'all.
Yo, Mo, drop that beat.
You know what we gotta do.
Yeah, man.
We bringing this funk just for you. Repeat after me. Say, you don't have to be the best, just gotta outlast the rest. You don't have to be the best,
You don't.
just gotta outlast the rest.
No, you don't.
You don't have to be the best, just gotta outlast the rest. You don't have to be the best, just gotta outlast the rest. United we stand, divided we fall. Should our backs ever be against the wall, we'll be together until the jam is done. I'ma say that again for you. United we stand, divided we fall. Should our backs ever be against the wall, we'll be together until the jam is done. Here we go, y'all. Now let me tell you a little story about United We Stand. It says we're gonna funk across this funkless land. We gon' stand up and let our voices be heard. We ain't gonna let nobody stop us from spreading the spiritual word. The ruthless corporate greedy don't give a damn about the needy. We need everybody in the house to join us on this one, alright? Y'all say, united we stand, divided we fall. Should our backs ever be against the wall, we'll be together until the jam is done. Are y'all out there? You feeling me? United we stand, come on, y'all. Divided we fall. Should our backs ever be against the wall, we'll be together until the jam is done. Yeah. Check. 1, 2, 1, 2. United we stand, divided we fall. Funkin' with the poor people most of all, as they poison our mind with food control. Third eye is wise, sacrifice. Wake up and see what they doing to you and me. Keeping a separate product of Illuminati, like the jail cell did my boss John Gotti. Dirty politics and high-priced prostitution reside in all the important positions. Just look around at the injustice in the world. Some forced to live in a deplorable conditions. Watch us, watch what we do. This rap is coming up just for you. So sit back, relax, check out our phone calls. The nappy hip-hop army always bumping in your drum. Twitter, tweet, the TikTok. The ruthless corporate greedies don't give a damn about the needies. A movement, genocide and homicide is happening all around the world. Promise me this, promise me that, when all the fat cats stabbing us in the back. Man, get off my back, bro. Killing me. Let me see you wave your hand. We all wanna take a stand. Rise up against the corporate man. Let me head all across this land. Oh yeah. Nothing but this new type funk 2022. wall.
One more time.
Should our backs ever be against the wall, we'll be together until the champion is done. United we stand, divided we fall. Should our backs ever be against the wall, we'll be together.
Lord, 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 Lord. What's up, all my true funk soldiers, club funkers around the world? My goodness, I was gone for 2 weeks. Woo! A lot has happened, man. Just goes to show you in 14 days how the world can flip. We got so much to unpack today. First of all, I want you guys to know that I'm severely sick, like everybody. I'm running a fever, coughing, the whole bit. So I'm going to try to power through this one because I know there are many people out there way, way worse off than me. Some people don't have a place to stay. Some people are camped out by fires. Some people are being killed, which has always been the case. Some people are denied whatever they need to exist on this plane, in this dimension, which is getting more and more obvious that for sure we're in the matrix. Some people are going through personal struggles, be they mental, be they physical. Some people are trying their best to power through alone. Young people especially, I love you guys, man. And, please, 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 please don't give up on yourselves. You didn't create this world. Like Tupac said, you was just born in it. You didn't do anything. You was given it. So I really, really want to stress that young people, I am dedicating a lot of my time and services and mental powers and sending guardian angels to all of you out there because I know you can't understand what's going on. And I know you're trying to decipher it all through social media. And I know that a lot of you out there are just so freaking confused about the state of the world and the energy. And we'll get into that a little bit later. This month, well, it's not February yet, but this whole month for me, I'm going to be dedicating to healing. It was cathartic when, my friends and I went to see the Buddhist monks walk through, and it gave me a new sense of hope where they're not looking at color, race, creed, gender. They're looking at peace, and peace has no color. Peace knows no color. Peace is a word, and words are spelling. But, when we try to break it down and layman's terms, it just means a calm, a sense of being in a state of mind where you don't have to be dealing with a lot of stress, anxiety, and worry. I wrote down a lot of notes over the past 2 weeks because I knew I was coming back to go live today, regardless if I didn't feel well or not. I was on the road for a week up in Baltimore, and that was really cool with Tony Cam and the All Stars of Funk, and we'll get into that too. But yeah, peace is an important word because not only does it mean your outer surroundings and your environment, but it also means peace of mind, free from the need to be free. Peace of mind is the most important thing that you can have with everything that's going on today. And we're living in the last days and time. And it does not mean that the last days and time are the end times. It just means it's a change. And if you go back and try to understand a lot of the scriptures, that will make sense to you. And when we look at the world and the way it is and all the things that are happening, it's important that we all keep our mental peace of mind, because that is the only way we can help anyone. Hold on, someone send me a message. I'm not really sure if it's Mark. I'm sorry. Okay. Um, yeah. So when we look at the world right now, and everything that's happening, we need to keep our peace of mind. We need to keep our wits about us. We can't let the darkness and the dark energy out there turn us against each other, because that's what's happening. And it seems to be winning, although the dark loses in the end. I don't care what scripture you read. I don't care what text you read. I don't care what religion or not religion. I practice Buddhism myself, but it doesn't matter. Excuse me, if I cough or sneeze, it's only because I really am legitimately sick. No lie. Um, so, and I can feel it in my throat. But we need to understand that, microbiologically speaking, to quote the good Dr. Funkenstein, we're all just energy bouncing off. And when energy starts to bounce around in certain patterns, in certain ways, and the upper echelon has learned to kind of manipulate it and control it, and put us in states of mind where we are just zombies walking around, but we really don't exist. And we need to reach that part in our heart and our crown chakra to where we are able to ignore, fight off, and do the best we can. Um, I know I've been victim to it a lot, and every day I wake up, and today is going to be my peaceful day. So I need you guys to carry that with you. Today's show um, is going to be about my thoughts, and again, my opinions, and mine only, about how we see the world, not just Minneapolis, not just United States, not just the conflicts going on all around, but how we see the world. Do we see the world, and to put it in layman's terms, as glass half empty or glass half full? Are we under a dome? Is it a flat earth? They've discovered all this new stuff by Antarctica, which is why, I don't know, people say Greenland and walking to Russia across that. And some people say there's no snow. They're making it up. Some people say the sun is too hot. All these things that are out there, man, they're put there in place to simply distract you from the truth and the wisdom that you carry inside, that you were gifted with when you decided to enter this realm and this dimension. Okay. So I'm going to kind of break it down like that, simply from my point of view. Don't forget, smash that like button and please subscribe. Shout out to my boo. I love you, Dawn. Shout out to Cindy K. Lane. I love you, and I hope you feel better, man. Get well soon. My guy, Guy Curtis, shout out. I know you're not feeling well. We were texting yesterday. We're both sick. And shout out to anybody, man. My son Zachary, my daughters Kayla and Maya, and everybody that's feeling any kind of pain right now. Again, Jen, I love you too. You and John are awesome, man. I hope you're doing all right. Even though I'm an empathic spirit, hybrid, whatever you want to call it, I still feel that pain that a lot of people are feeling out there. A lot so more than some people I've chatted with. Some people are higher level, much more than me. But I know I'm in that group of empathic spirits that feel this energy shift. And when it shifts into a place of pure evil that we've seen over and over and over, I mean, if it looks like fascism, if it walks like fascism, if it quacks like fascism, if it lends itself to doing evil things like fascism, then what is it? Fascism. Okay, and I'm talking about United States right now. When we are killing people in the street, which has always happened. Now, you guys need to listen to this very carefully, what's coming out of my mouth. It's always been happening. But the fact that it is continuing to happen, it doesn't matter what color the person's skin is. Get that into your heads. It does not matter. Buddhist teaches me energy is energy, light is light. So, because it's happening to others in the past and has always happened, it doesn't mean now that it's happening to other people, a certain group that may not be brown skinned. Doesn't mean that the pain is any less, nor does it mean that we should ignore it. Because if we think at a higher level and think at a higher above level, it's not about color or race. It never has been. It's about the strong and the weak, the rich and the poor. That's what it's always been about. And I think now some of our white brothers and sisters are finding out, doesn't matter how much money you have, you too will be killed. Okay, you too will be killed. So there's no hiding behind that. Like black and brown skinned people have always known this. And I'm sure a lot of my white brothers and sisters that I talk to all the time, we talk about this all the time. They are very much aware of this. Don't get it twisted. Every white person is not evil. Every white person is not out to get you. And every white person does not have an agenda against you if you're brown or black. It's the system that's run by the white people that are out to do you harm. So you need to really, really separate one from the other, because that's what it's about. If you look at, oh boy, this is really hard. The brother and the sister up in Minneapolis, and I have family up there, just so you know. I'm not just saying this because it's Minneapolis. I actually have cousins there, blood cousins, okay? I never talk about it, but I do. I actually have Funk family up there and Funk sisters, Meryl and Vanessa Bartholomew, and she makes my outfits for my shows, and she's my sister. So I have a connection to the MPLS. And if you notice, my screen in the back is purple today in honor of the MPLS. Okay. So I'm not just saying this because I'm anti this or pro that. I am pro peace, if that makes any sense. I am pro harmony. I am pro love. I am pro being a spiritual being in an earth suit, which is what I actually am. And I'm anti-violence. I'm anti-hate. I'm anti-racism, fascism, economic deportation, which means sending all our money everywhere else but here. The downtrodden, the poor, you know, all of the things in this country that we always claim to strive to be, but never really wanted to be. The game was rigged from the get-go. Okay? And I need you guys to do some research for me if you're watching. Go back and watch it, whatever. Go back to 1913 and understand how the American Cancer Society was first formed and why. It was supposed to be for nonprofit, wasn't? The Rockefellers, the World Bank, when we actually lost what claimed to be the nation, right? 1913, long time ago. Y'all got to go back and look at that, because that's when we started chopping up Native American land, Black land, Irish land, Italian land, whatever you want to call it, right? Into corporations, into many, many money machines, and how it could serve the greater good of that 1%, which has existed pretty much since the beginning of time. And when we look at how so many people have benefited from that, and continued to pass that wealth, generational wealth, which is where that word came from, just like generational poverty, just like generational ignorance, you know, it did such a devastating, or I'm sorry, it had such a devastating effect on those that were trying to pull themselves up. Now, check this out. A lot of people say, well, you know, why can't minorities pull themselves up by their bootstraps? But when minorities do try to pull themselves up by the bootstraps, so many doors were never open to begin with. So there isn't even a boot or a bootstrap to pull yourself up from or to or how. So you have to create and be creative and make other ways. Why do you think so many of our greatest inventions were invented by minorities? They were being creative in ways that you had no money. You were doing this hellacious, and I'm gonna try not to curse today. One of my goals this year was it's gonna be impossible. Hellacious job, and you're like, man, you know, how can I make my life easier? You know, I'm working for somebody else. I'm getting beat down. I'm getting crushed by the weight of social ills, ignorant ills. Not allowed to speak my native language. Not allowed to read my native text. Stripped away, lied to, raped, killed, maimed, tortured, burned, eaten. Yeah, read the story. So I'm going to try to make my life a little easier. I'm going to invent something, you know, and never giving credit for those patents. Just think how much fair or how fair it would have been. And fair doesn't exist in this world. So don't hang on to that because ain't nothing fair. But just think how many people would have been able to pass down even more wealth to spread it out. But that was never the plan, yo. That was never the plan, man. The plan was to take all of the people and figure out a way to F them up. However, it was medical, however, it was killing, maiming, and the elites of the elites of the elite. I'm not talking about Trump, Barack, Biden. Nah, that's small change, right? Because think about it. Since the beginning of 17 something, 76, George Washington, whatever, right? The ghetto is still a ghetto. The hood is still the hood. Poor people are still poor. Democrat, Republican, independent, right? There's a line in my song that says the lesser of two evils, illusion of choice. By the way, Grid Go Down. Y'all check that out. That's what it is, yo. The lesser of two evils, illusion. It's an illusion of choice. You know, you've been indoctrinated into this state of mind, you know, through the school system, through the food, through what you've been given to read, what you've seen on social media now, but back then it was television. And you've been told nothing but lies to keep you separated, nothing but lies to keep you guessing, reaching at the straw, pulling up the rope that ain't there. Because every time you reach for the ladder, they raise the ladder. So you can't possibly reach it, right? And you have no choice but to do the daily toil, till, work, slave. We all are parts of that matrix. And I'll give you a perfect example. Water on this planet was free. Land on this planet was free. Air which they poisoned, free. Everything that Mother Earth gave to us, she gave to us for free. Now let that sink in. It's free. Why do we have to pay for it? The powers that be have us working for them. They get the profit. We don't even get the crumbs. They get the lavish lifestyles and all the benefits of having wealth and power. We absolutely get nothing compared to what they have. Yet we continue to work and give it to them. Why is that? I'll tell you why, in my opinion. Because we've been indoctrined into thinking that we can't, or that we are not capable, or that we are not smart enough or good enough. And just when you think you're about to break through, they start poisoning your food. They start poisoning your land. They completely poisoned your third eye. I know, because I see some of y'all walking around out there. Third eye's completely closed. I'm able to see shit. I'm able to see things like that. So they got you believing. For instance, I watched a doc the other night on Mississippi about the gangs. And they got these kids believing that their front porch is all they got. And that's not true. All they have to do is just go outside their community. But they feel that they're not good enough and they don't fit outside their community. That's a lie. So if you're young and you ready to jump off the porch, don't jump off. You're better than that. You deserve better than that. So give yourself better than that. Don't think because society tells you you're no good, or society tells you you got to have Air Jordans, or society tells you you got to have the nice car, or society tells you you got to put all the braids and stuff in your hair and look good and this and that and the third, and your electricity's cut off. Think, people, think. It ain't illegal yet. These are things that society put in place to keep you distracted from the real con. The big robbery, the great heist. Again, lesser of two evils, illusion of choice. Don't get me wrong. I was very proud that we had a black representative as president, and he wasn't the first black president if you go back to the 1800s. So do your research. But the hood is still the hood, Barack. The ghetto's still the ghetto. I know you couldn't do it overnight, and I know maybe you wanted to. Maybe had they not killed Malcolm, King, Medgar Evers, maybe had they not killed all our leaders, maybe had we not had corrupt people in positions of power that won't let us share the UFO technology that we have that can make this planet run much, much better. Maybe. But again, that was all an illusion. The bullshit, damn, I didn't even make it. The BS that we shuffle around every 4 years, every 2 years, simply moving the cards around. Every 4 years, you get to run the country. Every 4 to 8 years, I get to run the country. And at the same time, we are running the country into the ground, if you know what I mean, speaking from a political aspect. Yeah, some things have changed. Yeah, some things are decent. But on the grand scale of things, compared to what the Heavenly Father had in store for us, we are way, way, way below the floor. We can't even see the floor, let alone try to reach the ceiling. And I believe in my heart of hearts that now our white brothers and sisters, who some may have been on our side in the closet, but would never come out publicly because they're afraid to get booted out of their Elks Club. They're afraid to get booted out of the country club. afraid to get booted out of their church. I'm not Christian, so don't get me twisted. I don't believe in religion at all. I think it's divisive, but that's just me personally, right? Maybe people are afraid, and I ain't mad at them for that. People are allowed to be afraid. You're allowed to feel how you feel. That's supposedly what this place is about, freedom of choice. But it's a freedom of choice, but it's also delusions of grandeur. Because if you think for 1 minute, anybody that has $1 million or $1 billion, or any of these athletes or any of these people that shuffle around like, oh yeah, we're going to help you, and oh yeah, we're going to do this. If you think for 1 minute when they lay their heads down on their silk sheets that they're worried about that person that's living out in the street next to the fire and his wind chill -8, you're fooling yourself. Because at the end of the day, for whatever reason, this planet has always been about self-preservation. And if you look at self-preservation, right, we all do what we have to do to survive because we've been given no choice. And when we've been given no choice, sometimes your only choice is to sleep by the fire on the side of the street. But that doesn't make it morally or spiritually right, nor does it make it acceptable, because it's not acceptable. It's unacceptable. And there's no reason for that to be happening in a country where I'm playing basketball, football, baseball, soccer, hockey, WNBA, NBA, millions of dollars. They're making millions of dollars on their sneaker deals, their merchandise, millions. 3, 4, 5 houses, islands all over the world, invited to high-level parties that you and I can't even work as valets at to park their cars. Do you think those people are going to give up the ghost to help you? No. The only one that are going to help us is us. To quote New Jack City, we all we got. So y'all need to let some of that stuff sink in. And don't pretend that you don't see it, because that pisses me off more than anything. When I see people pretending that they don't see this, or that it doesn't exist, or that it's not happening, you know that's a lie. So why add your energy of lying onto the already corrupt energy of lies? And we wonder why we can't fix and heal. Because if you turn a blind eye to anything that's corrupt or immoral, then you now have become part of the problem, because you're not addressing it. And just because you're black, white, green, or purple, and you live in a gated, rich community, just because you can fly today and change your climate, as some of the rappers saying, I don't like mentioning their name because they all dark, you know, but I hear the songs, I listen to words. You don't like the cold, so you can change your climate and go to somewhere warm. Just because you can do all of that doesn't mean that the evil and the darkness doesn't persist out here and doesn't exist. It does. It really does. And if you have any type of moral compass, as Martin Luther King Jr. said, that you need to walk towards the light and help guide people towards the light. If you have any kind of moral fiber, we're all born from the light. So that means we all carry the light with us. And when we carry the light with us, we cannot let society, we cannot let the dark forces, which have deactivated, program, reprogram, deprogram. We have been deactivated. Our DNA, our chakras have been deactivated. Our third eye has been deactivated. That's why doing this show for me is very, very important, because I'm here to help you activate your third eye again. Just slow down your breathing techniques. Look at things in HD instead of black and white. See things for what they really are. Help yourself and your families, of course, but try to reach out spiritually to other people. It's not about giving. People have given me so much. I've been so blessed. Thank you. But it's not about that sometimes. Sometimes it's simply about saying right is right, wrong is wrong. And what happened to those people in the MPLS was wrong. Right? Now, I don't know about how others feel about this, but I personally think that when you look at this, the program to deport people out of the country, and see, here's where I'm telling you, man, please go back and look at some of the ancient maps and things like that, because trust me, the United States is not as big as you think it is. The Northern Hemisphere, it's not. It's just made to look that way. Again, an illusion compared to the rest of the world. They have to make it look bigger than what it is, so it seems powerful and seems mighty, and all that is sacred over here in this country, which is BS. It's actually relatively small, run by people that are small-minded but have no soul. Okay, they have no soul. When your soul has been snatched up by the demons, the demonic evil, the music they want you to listen to, the stuff they want you to watch, the stuff that they continue to manufacture, they're working on things right now to mess with our grandkids. And y'all know I'm telling the truth. I'm coming hard today. They're working on things right now, not to mess with your kids, but to mess with your grandkids and their kids, because that's what they do. Now, when it comes to today, what is it, January 31st? We get ready to get into Black History Month, right? That's why I said next month is going to be very important. What happened up there was inevitable. Like, they killed George Floyd right there. So people that are protesting, or that have their right to protest, whether they have a weapon or not, and I'm here to tell you, I am a responsible legal gun owner. So if you come at me, that's what you're going to get. I don't mind saying that. But people that are protesting and disarmed, right there, bang, you got it. That's the end of it. That's the end of it. He was disarmed. And the lady, Renee, wasn't even armed. They say she was armed with a weapon, a truck. I'll debate that. All right? Because everybody's lying eyes can't see the truth. But when we look at the brother, and he is my brother, it's not about color. That ain't me. Other people can be that way. I'm not that. When we look at that brother, and he was on his back, now come to find out he was shot by two different people. Okay? And I won't call them government agents. I won't call them anything federal. I'll just call them people, because that's what they are. Their badge and their rank and their honor and all of that stuff flies out the window when you murder somebody in cold blood and you shoot them in the back, especially when you have them down. Okay, so what are we doing? Why was that? And in my opinion, I'll tell you why that was. That is a message to anyone who feels that they want to step outside the matrix or the box and help someone else. They don't want that. And when we try to step outside the box and help someone else, we realize we're helping ourselves. Now, only gangsters and predators and evil, dark people hide behind a mask. but we still see who you are. You can hide behind 10 masks. It doesn't matter. Those of us with the third eye gift, we see you. You can hide behind the Ku Klux Klan mask, the Proud Boys mask. You can put stuff over your face. You gangbangers in all of these in places in the United States, black, white, Mexican, Latino, whatever, hiding behind masks. You think we don't see your skinny behind out there? We see you. We know who you are. So because you hide your face, you can't hide your spirit or your soul, because your soul is dark. We see you. So you think you're hiding your face. You're really not. The only thing you're doing is showing us you're right there, who you are. You're basically pointing your own self out. That's how stupid you are. Because when we see you with that stuff on, we automatically know. So thank you for letting us know. Now, when it comes to, I don't know if Mark's back there or not, but I guess he is. He sent me a message. I'm not really sure. But Mark, I'll get to you in a minute. And I hope you got some of that stuff loaded up. But again, smash that like button. Funk from the Front Seat, 9 on the Grind TV, right here, every Saturday, either live or via Memorex, as I used to say. We're going to be here kicking it. Oh, and this is something that I'm really proud of. We're going into 2026. Yo, check this out. This is our 6th year. Siete años right here. Okay? So whatever we've been doing, I guess is cool because people still digging it. So we appreciate all you guys out there. So thank you for that. Man, this cold really got me, man. I got the chills and everything. I got goosebumps, fever, whatever. But, you know, it's all good. I'll try to make sense. Help me make this make sense. When we look at all of the different protests around the country, around the world, again, if it looks like fascism, walks like fascism, quacks like fascism, kills like fascism, then what is it, right? And it was our turn over here. You know, we're thinking, oh, we're the United States, and oh, this stuff can't get us, and we got to protect our borders. Yeah, we got to protect our borders because they want to keep us in. They don't want to let us out because they need us to do their daily bidding, work the chores. Don't think because you make $200,000-$300,000 you ain't a slave, because you are. You're a slave to the mindset. Don't think that because you have a nice house and you have nice things, or that you're doing sports or music or whatever, you ain't a slave, because you're a slave to the matrix. And until we break the cycle, until we raise our vibrations higher, and until we start all seeing each other in humanity, peace, love, and harmony, and until we all reach the one together, still slave. Doesn't matter if you're the homeless person with a basket full of cans, or doesn't matter if you live in a palatial palace that you claim you're behind a gated community and you got your pools and you got your country clubs and you got all this other stuff. You're still a slave. Because free from the need to be free is recognizing the fact that you caught up in this thing, in this game, and the game was rigged. And you trying to play it the best way that you can. Because that's what it's about. Now, me in that funk game, thank God I got that, because I couldn't imagine where I'd be without it. It gives me peace of mind, allows me creativity, allows me to meet all kinds of beautiful spirits and people. I love all you guys out there. Y'all know that. I'll do anything I can to help you as y'all help me. Allows me to go and share joy and light with others when we're doing that music. And that's a beautiful thing. And they're literally trying to take that away. How come there's never been funk at the Super Bowl? They don't want it. That's why. How come there's no funk category on Spotify? They don't want it. That's why. How come there's no funk radio station other than the underground ones and the above ground ones like P-Funk Radio? Because they don't want it. That's why. And it's so deep that it actually seeps into our own people. Because I'll tell you, I went to NC Central, the historical black college, 4 years ago, and I'm not going to say the person's name. Gave them my music, and they would not play it on a funk show that they had on 5:30 to 8:30 on a Friday and Saturday. Would not play it. So are you really trying to help? No. See, that's what I'm trying to tell you. It ain't always about black and white. Our own people, as brown skin and black people, be working against us. But yet, I meet the brothers and sisters, Honeybee and P-Funk Radio, Keith Jackson, and that whole crew, and Gabe and Rob and all of them, and they play our music religiously because they believe in us. David Webb, these people believe in us. But I got a historical black college 10 minutes from my house. Won't play my music. Now, what's that about? Right? So think about it. You ain't really trying to promote anything positive. Like, believe me, I live in North Carolina for a few different reasons. Beautiful people here, the weather. But man, the South, yo, this place is jacked the F up. Trust me when I tell you. I've experienced all kinds of dark, demon, jealousy, envious kind of things happening down here. And I'm just trying to play music. People claim they're going to do this, that, and the third. They ain't really trying to do it. And I'm way hip to that. That's why you don't see me doing much down here. You know, people ain't really trying to put it out there. If they was, they would, but they not. They recycle the same old stuff because they don't want nothing new, because they're afraid of change. And if you're afraid of change, you cannot make progress. No, I lost Mark again, so I don't know what's going on. You cannot make progress if you're afraid of change. But I digress. Across this country, multiple protests around the world, multiple protests. You know, I was in New York when Eleanor Bumpurs got killed. I was in New York when they choked a brother in Staten Island, right down the street from me, because he was selling Lucy cigarettes that he had done every day since he had been there. They decided to kill him one day. Abner Deweymer got a baton shoved up his rectum by police in New York City. I was there. I lived there. Now, these atrocities have always been happening. But it's just now they're happening to the people who were in certain situations and they wanted to come out, figured they could help. And you see what happened. So what does that lend you to think? Nobody is safe. Nobody is above reproach from these, I don't want to say Nazis, because I don't know. I wasn't there in the Nazi regime. I ain't going to even say ICE because I don't even care about their status. I just want to say evil doers of evil deeds. I read John Lewis's book, right? He talked about good trouble and bad trouble. And sometimes some will be killed trying to do good trouble. Sometimes. Could be me. I go to protests. And I'm not going to say whether I have my weapon on me or not. That's nobody's business. But I've been to plenty of protests down here. On the front lines. Because I believe in that. In New York, I believed in protests. Because I just think that a group of people collectively together can change things. We've been indoctrinated into a slave-minded state of mind, and we actually have no exit door. because that's what they want you to think. But that is not true. The exit door is right there. Boom. It's your crown chakra. You know, you got to reach that. Somehow we all got to reach that together. Then we can escape and let the low, dirty energy kill off themselves, because that's what's going to happen. Because sooner or later, and you mark my words, as sure as I wrote Grid Go Down, as sure as I wrote United We Stand, and you listen to my words and my funk stuff, a lot of it is very political, but you got to pay attention to the words. As sure as I live and breathe, somebody from that ICE is going to kill another ICE person. Then you're going to see what happens, because they're going to turn on each other, because that's what always happens. In my video, if you watch it, you know, I love the character Bane. Fantasy, of course. I don't live that character. It's just a character. But I wanted to use that as an example. And I was able to capture the voice, you know, because I listen to a lot of voices and I love mimicking voices. I don't do them all on social media, but I like doing that because it gives me an advantage when I'm trying to create music and I get into another person's headspace. And, you know, I start out by saying citizens of Earth, you know, and we are citizens of Earth, citizens, people, you know, citizens. When you were born, you were given a number, not because the census wanted to keep track of who you were, not because they wanted to monitor, you know, how you grew up or what state you grew up in, or none of that, or because your parents got a tax write-off for having a kid, none of that. You became a commodity. You became, hey, in 18 years, this person's going to be making money for us. Why does the government take their money out before you even see yours? As Marvin Gaye said, they take it before we even get it. How was that set up to where you get a paycheck and they've already taken your money out? You didn't have a say-so in that if you want to work that job. So when we look at the game, the rigged game, as George Carlin would say, great. He did a segment about, I think it was about like 10 minutes long on YouTube. And he was talking about certain things. And he said, you were never part of it. You never will be part of it. So the microcosm that we call Minneapolis, with the brother and sister that got murdered up there, and they were murdered. Make no mistake about it. They were murdered. Okay? Along with George Floyd and many, many others across this country. I can't name them all. They're all over the place. They were murdered. When we look at that and we try to analyze it and think about it and loop it in our minds to where it becomes part of the fabric of your memory, that's part of the game. See, because the Matrix game is to get you to think about things, to distract you from the major goal, which is becoming one. When I went and hung out with the monks, and the lead monk, he's not feeling well, so send him some prayers. When I went and hung out with them, there was so many beautiful people there. I got to tell you, a lot of people brought their pets. And it wasn't because they wanted their pets to be blessed or anything like that. Maybe some did, I don't know. But I noticed this. Even the dogs didn't bark. Not at all. The whole time they spoke, not a peep. Now, what does that tell you? Animals are intuitive. They even tapped into the spiritual good that was happening there. So how are we as human beings constantly fighting race, religion, sex, gender. We're constantly fighting that. And we have these peaceful men just walking along, opening up a crevice of peace, hoping that it oozes out onto everybody else. Can't you see they're cracking the code for you? All you have to do is just be peaceful, state of mind. That's why I said peace is not always the outer, it's the inner. Those that are the Christian religion is highly, they believe in inner peace. The kingdom of heaven lives within. Buddhism, the kingdom of heaven lives within. Spirituality, Muslims, whatever. It's all about inside. It's about inside. That's what they don't want you to realize. They poison your inside. And they don't want you to understand you already are gods and goddesses. You were born that way. You were born divine. You were born to do great things. But yet they have us all bent over. They're on our back. So if we stand up, they can't ride your back. Dr. West said that. Stand up. Don't be afraid. Some of you are going to die. I may die. But that's just part of the matrix. That's part of it, part of the journey. Stand up for what you believe in, because it's going to affect us all. It may not have gotten to you yet, but it will. As our Latino brothers and sisters have found out. It will. Because everything they do is designed to do you harm. So all we have is each other. Y'all got to keep that in mind. All we have is each other. All right, I'm going to run something real quick while I take a quick break. Don't forget, you're watching Funk from the Front Seat, 9 on the Grind TV. We love all you guys, and we appreciate you guys out there. Smash that like button. Please subscribe. And I'm going to see if I can get a hold of Mark and see if he can get back on the other side. Y'all check this out.
Yeah, coming at you. Y'all hear me out there? This is what I'm talking about. We're all connected. I want you to get up on this one, all right? Come on, join us. This is how we're going to kick it. Come on, here we go. Yeah, there's a spiritual purpose. Yeah, you know how it is. The Lord Jesus Christ. Here we go.
There's a spiritual purpose.
That's what this whole thing is about, y'all. Nothing but love for you. I can hear you calling me. What? 4 months on a ship. What a trip. Yeah, what a slave. 10,000 miles away from the motherland. You can relate to that, right? What have we done wrong? We don't understand. There's a spiritual purpose. For everyone in the world, there's a spiritual purpose. Man, woman, boy, and girl, purpose. Things we don't understand. Purpose. Helps us to heal the land. Yeah.
Girl, we fell in love so innocently. 9 months later, a child was born. spiritual purpose.
Yeah.
For man, women, boy, and girl. Spiritual purpose. Things we don't understand. Spiritual purpose. Helps us to heal the land.
Sometimes we have to cry.
All the children of the world,
Man,
woman, boy, and girl. Things we don't understand, yeah. Helps us to heal the land. There's a purpose for everything. Everybody got a reason for living today. Gotta search deep inside.
Yeah, we back. Thank you, Angie. Love you out there on the West Coast, man. I hope you guys are doing okay. Appreciate that. I want to run a few spots, man, for some people that have been supporting us over the years. People that have always hung in there with us, and we appreciate everything. You guys are great, and it's just kind of cool to know that we're going into our 6th year, so y'all check some of these spots out.
Up, Royal Funk fans, this is Lisa Love, aka Alpha Unk Omega, coming to you from Love's Temple here in Southern California, inviting you to 9 on the Grind, Funk from the Front Seat with Zach Robinson. This is what I want you to do for me. Tune in every Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Come join the meeting of minds. I guarantee soul's growth and high vibrations, not to mention the love. Keep it funky, y'all.
Hey fam, what's goody good? What's really good? My name is Jeff Roberson from the gospel group called Jeff Roberson and New Life. And I'm coming to you from the town that we had to name it twice. It's so nice. New York. And I'm bringing you some news about my brother from another mother, Brother Zach, who's bringing you his hot new show called Funk from the Front Seat. Listen, he's bringing you funk from the vault, from the past, from the present, and into the future. He's got that music that makes the hair on the back of your neck rise up. He's bringing you funk all the way down to your toes. This is that funk that makes you really want to groove. Stay tuned. Don't touch that dial as he brings you funk from the front seat. Listen, let's go.
It's Peppermint Patty.
My dog,
Hello
Jeff.
to
I love
everyone,
him.
all of our Club Funketeers all around the world. I want to say this to you. You're watching FFTFS on 9 on the Grind TV every Saturday, 12 p.m. Eastern to 9 a.m. Pacific. Oh my goodness, what a wonderful show it is. And it's with our Club Funketeer, who? Zach. On the 9. Zach is the vice president of the Club Funketeers. So we lift him up every day and we thank him for keeping the funk alive. All right, go ahead. Let's do it, number 9. Peppermint Patty.
Love you, Patty. Bootsy, y'all are like always in my corner, man. I appreciate you.
Hey, y'all. Linda Shiner here, talking about my brother from another mother, Zach Robertson's Funkin' from the Front Seat podcast. It's Saturday afternoons, 12 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock on the West Coast, and 10 and 11 in between. We talk about, I'm on there sometime, we talk about politics, music, of course, what's going on in the world, and whatever kind of floats our boat that day. So y'all check it out. Like I said, Funkin' from the Front Seat, Zach Robertson's podcast, Saturday afternoons, 12 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock West. Peace.
What up, everybody? This is Kevin from the Kevin Harrington Experiment, and you're watching Funk from the Front Seat with my brother, Zach, Funky Number 9 Robertson. If you didn't know, now you know.
Wiggle worm here, baby. Yeah, and I'd just like to say congratulations to my man, Zach. Yeah, Club Funketeer number 9, keeping that funk on the shine for his 2nd year anniversary of his show, Funk from the Front Seat. It don't get no better unless you jump in the back seat and then jump back in the front seat. On the one. Yeah, keep that funk alive.
Hey, this is Jen Vanderputten, writer of Code and Prose. You are watching Funk from the Front Seat with Zach Roberson. Tune in every Saturday at noon for excellent and important conversation.
Hey, this is Keith Jackson with P-Funk Radio, inviting you to check out my brother Zach Robinson with Funk from the Front Seat. Saturdays, 12 noon on the East Coast and 9 a.m. on the West Coast. It all happens on 9 on the Grind TV and also on YouTube. Great guests, great conversation each and every Saturday. That's Funk from the Front Seat with Zach Robinson on 9 on the Grind TV and YouTube. Check him out.
Hey, what's up? All my true funk soldiers, club funketeers around the world. This is your host of Funk from the Front Seat, number 9 right here, come to you from the funk universe that I live in. Check this out, man. Smash that like button for Funk from the Front Seat, and please subscribe. We're on every Saturday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9 a.m. West Coast time. Don't forget, man, Funk from the Front Seat, 9 on the Grind TV. Smash that like button and please subscribe, man. We need it all to come together. Peace, love, and harmony, y'all.
This is Joe Keys of Joe Keys and the Late Bloomer Band. Just did a show with my man Zach. Number 9. That's right. Number 9's got it going on. Check out Funk from the Front Seat. Zach Robinson. Serious good vibrations, y'all. What we need. Peace.
Well, hello there. Just catching up on some old news. Remember the good old days? Hey, it's Cindy K here from C-Town, giving a shout out to Zach Roberson, aka number 9. I check out his show every week, Funk from the Front Seat. It shows at noon on the East Coast and 9 here on the West Coast. And every week, Zach interviews various musicians and actors and artists and even an occasional politician from all across the galaxy. And you can see their thoughts and opinions and the creative process, and it's always insightful and motivational and inspirational. And thank you, Zach, for always staying positive. Every week you spread peace, love, and harmony across our universe. And Zach, I know that you are the VP of Bootsy's Funketeer Club, and I just want to let you know that I always carry my funk card with me, as I know that you do too. Anyhow, I wanted to give a shout out to Mr. Mark Lee, Zach's trusted assistant and friend and producer, and you're always there to make sure everything's running smoothly, because Sir knows, devoid of funk, kind of comes and creeps in out of the darkness and tries to create some interference, and you come to the rescue and you get us back on track. And I always appreciate your spiritual enlightenment and keeping us up to date on current events, because that's really important. I try to do that myself. I'd like to say peace to the world, because right now we need to feed off of peace. and not hate. We need to love each other, not because of our likenesses, but because of our differences. And music would be nothing without harmonies. We are all blended voices, and without all the diversity, we wouldn't have P-Funk and all the amazing music. And when everybody comes together, we create one big, beautiful sound. Anyhow, I love you, Zach. It's amazing that you come up with these wonderful shows every week, and you are the shining star child that we know you are, and always spreading peace, love, and harmony to everyone. So check out Funk from the Front Seat every Saturday, 9 on the grind, noon on the East Coast, and 9 on the West Coast. And the last thing I'd like to say is peace out.
Hey everybody, it's Shindig here from Dig Deep. Hope all is well. Greetings to all the believers in love. I just want to wish you happiness, peace, love, courage, hope, and truth. As far as an update with Dig Deep has a single out right now called 50 Years of Hip Hop. Check it out on Spotify, And also on Bandcamp, BRC just released a 40th anniversary compilation. Corey's on there, Peter Lord from Family Stand, and a host of other people. And Dig Deep is quite honored to be chosen to have a song on there called I'm Not Free Till I'm Free. So check that out. We hope to be playing a lot live in the year 2026. And in closing, I'd like to thank Zach, who's the host of Funk from the Front Seat, for giving me and so many others so much coverage. Peace to you all. Peace.
Hey, what it do? What's up to everybody out there? This is your boy Q from Afterglow 92416. And of course, support my man Zach, number 9 from Funk from the Front Seat. All right. Just saying hello to everybody out there. Hoping the holidays going well. You got them presents together. Y'all got my present for me? I'm just asking. But anyway, hope everything's going well for you. You know, it's been a kind of tight year. Got to get that peace, love, and that harmony back together for us. And that funk does it for us. So let's everybody kind of put ourselves in that frame of mind so we can do that. All right. So we can make that happen in 2026. All right. We can get over that hump. We can make it all happen. All right. We love y'all. Happy holidays to you. Happy holidays to you and your family. Hope everybody is well. Peace out.
A few of the people that have been very supportive. I love all you guys, man. You guys been great. Always coming through when I need you. Mark has had some technical difficulties, so I'm not sure if he's going to be joining us today or not. But, you know, he did send me a message. And also, too, it appears that we've been added to this other platform, which is great, Roku, whatever, TV. I don't know, YouTube. I try to pay attention to this stuff, but that's more his department. But Mark sends his peace, love to you. And he also, you know, has a special place in his heart for the things that we're going through as a country. And he just told me to tell you that because, you know, Mark is the kind of individual that I wouldn't be able to do this without him every week, week in, week out. And Mark, we're going on to 6 años. So we're doing pretty good, you know. It has never been about the money for us. Although, yeah, we'd like money, but, you know, it ain't really that. And it's the same reason why the Buddhist monks walked from Texas, walking up to D.C. They ain't doing it for money. You know, they're doing it to cut across the darkness. If darkness is going like this and we get enough ripples to cut across it, you know, with that peace, love, and harmony, maybe we can chop it up like a snake or something, you know, I don't know. But I did have some things loaded up. Hopefully I won't get sued or tagged by YouTube because this is public domain. And I did have some vids, thank you, Mark, that he queued up for me that he wanted to share with you. And this was going to be his segment of the show. So I'll do my best to be Mark and things of that nature to share what he shared with me. Because him and I had put the show together during the week in between me being sick and the weather and, you know, that whole thing. But just keep in mind, right, that the people that you've watched over the past 5 minutes, and the people that are on the thread and watch, whether they're on the thread or not, a comment or not, I know you guys out there watching because I feel you. So I feel your love, right? All of these beautiful spirits, we all live in different parts of the country, parts of the world. And DJ Monica over in Switzerland, I love you. You know, DJ Elizabeth in Ireland, thank you. And DJ Coccolino in Italy, thank you. You know, Rod down in, I believe he's in Arkansas, but another brother that I know, same name, you know, is in Argentina or something like that. But, you know, they all have the same thing in common. They all just want a better world, right? We can be individuals in this world, but we all want the same thing. And if we do not create our own universe to be peaceful and harmonious down here in this dimension, on this planet, on this plane, if we do not create that ourselves by having peace of mind, then we allow them to win. And we can't allow them to win. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you, if we stick together, and again, some of us may die behind it, but if we stick together, we can overcome this, all right? So I want you guys to sit back, relax, and watch. Check this out. Again, you know, Funk from the Front Seat, Not on the Grind TV. Smash that like button and please subscribe, share with your friends. You know, I'll set it up to run again today at 9 o'clock and then tomorrow again. You know, I'm going to try to recoup and try to see what this snow is doing. Let me, hold on one second. Oh, jingle bells. We got a little snow out there. All right, so it's starting. It finally reached us. It's funny. Love my boo up in Winston-Salem. And she was online this morning talking, whatever. And 2 o'clock, she's like, yeah, I got snow here. So, you know, I was like, well, it's cool. We ain't nothing here yet. So, you know, like me, sometimes people can't sleep. So we were chatting a little bit, you know, and I said, we're supposed to hit here tomorrow around 1 o'clock. And boof, there it is. So we'll see. Now, those of you that are not getting hit with this, be glad you're not, because it's snowing and it's cold. So even though I live in the South, I'm still a New Yorker, right? So I'm kind of used to it. But believe me, my behind is in the house. I don't need to be out there. You know, I ain't no young spring chicken no more frolicking around. You know, I am in the house, in the warm, trying to fight this off. And I'm glad, you know, the creator and the universe and all you guys out there gave me the energy to get through this show today. Believe me, I got a migraine headache, sinuses, I'm coughing and sneezing. I got a fever, I can tell. So when I'm finished with this show, I'm going to have some soup and I'm going to lay right back down and get my rest, because I know I could be no good to myself if I'm not healthy. And I can't be, if I'm not healthy, I can't be any good to you. And again, if you notice my purple ambiance in the background, MPLS, that's for you. I love y'all out there, man. So check this out. And again, public domain, so I ain't making this up. But I just want you guys to see it. Not so much to have it sync or re-loop or play in your head, but only because this podcast is about spreading and sharing information. So y'all watch this, courtesy of Mr. Markley.
Now to the US, and the family of a man killed by federal immigration officers in Minneapolis have called for the truth to be told about their son. Alex Pretty was shot during a confrontation with officers yesterday. There are conflicting accounts of the moments leading up to his death. Tensions in the city have been high after immigration agents killed protester Rene Good just 3 weeks ago. Well, let's go to our correspondent Carl Nasman, who is in Minneapolis for us. Carl, just tell us what the mood is where you are.
Yeah, an emotional morning here in Minneapolis as residents are waking up the day after the shooting of Alex Pretty. And you can see behind me, this is where people are now coming. This is a memorial that has been set up. It's been growing throughout the morning and evening hours last night. Flowers, candles have been lit this morning as well. And you can see some of the signs really honoring his life. This one here simply saying Alex should be here. A lot of sadness from the people coming to pay their respects, to remember his life. There's also anger, of course, and frustration in the community. This is a city that has seen 3 shootings involving immigration officers just this month. 2 of them, of course, have been deadly. Alex Pretty just about 24 hours ago, and then Renee Good, who was also shot and killed less than 3 weeks ago. So there is a lot of frustration and anger here. Many residents telling us that they want to see those ICE and Border Patrol officers leave the city. There's also a lack of trust, I would say, when it comes to the residents here and their dealings with federal officers. We were speaking with one resident who said that, he was here to essentially guard this site overnight. Take a listen to what he told us.
I wanted to pay my respects. I wanted to protect the site and keep it out here as long as possible. Wouldn't have been here without the few of us who stayed out here, so I'm happy we were able to keep it up for as long as we could. But yeah, just
how long have you been here for?
Since like 7 last night.
You were here overnight?
Yeah.
What was it about this incident that had you, it was freezing cold last night, to stay out here and guard the memorial?
It was worth it. We needed to stay here. I don't think the businesses around here are going to suffer from it not being here. So, yeah, it was just worth it. It's too much going on. People are getting gassed. Kids are getting gassed. People are getting murdered pretty much every week, damn near every day, by the same people that our president is letting just run around the streets. So it's not much, but it's something we could do for now.
A somber scene here this morning, very different from what we all witnessed taking place yesterday. Those clashes with federal officers, tear gas and other agents used to try to clear the crowds. More and more people beginning to come today. I think the question is going to be how many people will show up, and obviously there is so much passion in this community. Folks coming out despite what I have to say are very cold temperatures here. As we move on towards the day, there are memorials planned and vigils, so we know folks will be turning out. The other thing I think a lot of people will have their eyes on are the developments in terms of the investigation into Renee Good and the killing of her. That was really something where the federal authorities excluded state authorities from participating in that investigation. We saw something similar happen yesterday. There was actually a lawsuit that was filed demanding that federal agents preserve any evidence in this case for state authorities to take a look at. So there are also fights right now playing out in the courts. We also know in terms of security, the National Guard has actually been deployed. They will be on the streets, we're expecting, here in Minneapolis later on today. That's simply as a precaution to try to support the local police officers here. This is a move that's been requested by local authorities. So this is what we'll be watching today, a very cold day, a very emotional one here in Minneapolis.
Indeed. Carl Nasman, thank you very much for the moment, and do try and get back into the warm.
New video emerging from Minnesota and that incident in Minneapolis that saw an immigration enforcement officer shooting and killing a member of the public. The footage was filmed by the agent himself who shot Renee Nicole Good. It was originally published today by a Minnesota-based media outlet called Alpha News.
Shows one of the people in the vehicle speaking to the officer before it drives off and the officer opens fire. BBC Verify's analysis says the reflection of the person filming the car matches verified footage of the ICE agent from the incident. Here is the clip and a warning, you may find it disturbing.
Change our plates every morning, just so you know. It'll be the same plate when you come talk to us later. That's fine. U.S. citizen, former. You want to come at us? You want to come at us? I say go get yourself some lunch, big boy. Go ahead.
Out of the car. Get out of the car. Get out of the car.
Whoa! Well, let's bring in our North America correspondent, Anthony Zerker. So, Anthony, we now have a new angle, a new bit of footage of this incident.
a new bit of footage that comes from the officer who fired the shots. And you could see the officer emerging from the vehicle there, walking around it, engaging with Ms. Good, who was sitting behind the driver's wheel. Friendly, or at least a calm conversation before he went around, saw the back of the car, and then was spoken to by the woman who appears to be Ms. Good's wife. Then positioned himself back in front of the car, and it was at that point that Ms. Good reversed the car, put it in drive. You could see her turning the wheel to the right, and at that point, in just a matter of seconds, you see the phone drop down, you hear the shots, you hear yelling, and then the phone is back up again in order to see Good's car speed off and impact, which was the end of the video. Clearly, Good and her wife were activists there, but again, the interaction, at least at the beginning, seemed fairly non-confrontational. You heard another law enforcement officer instruct Good to get out of the car. That is when Good began to put the car in motion, reverse, and then go forward. This video has already been shared by Vice President J.D. Vance, by the White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt. I think you're seeing both the administration citing this as evidence that the officer acted with measured force, but then you hear critics also say this is more evidence that the violent force, the lethal force used was inappropriate to the situation.
Okay, Anthony, thank you.
Now, those are just a couple. There's millions, thousands, I guess, whatever, hundreds, right? And thank you, Mark, for that. And I can't speak for what you're going to say, but I'm just sure you're appalled and disgusted like most of us, right? So that's just a fraction of what has been happening since the game has started. And now we see that it's escalated to this point. And I'm talking like, like I said, at the beginning of the show, we were never part of that club unless you're born into it, the elite. Okay. Now let's fast forward to when day before yesterday, the journalist, Don Lemon, former CNN journalist, has his own podcast now, something Lemon or something, I don't know, but went into the church and apparently was arrested. And, now he has to go to court as a journalist, I guess, was just doing a story. I don't know all the details behind it, but I know this. In any fascism or any type of regime that stifles the public knowledge that we get from the lying news, because we know the news is always BS. But you can see from cameras and people taking videos the truth. Can't lie about that. That, like we say in the music game, tape don't lie. Right? You make a mistake in the music, you play that tape back, tape don't lie. Right? So why are we going to let our lying eyes believe that we didn't see these two people get murdered, in my opinion? Okay. Along with many, many others. Like I said, I referenced George Floyd, and they choked the brother, 8 minutes, something seconds. Like I say, United We Stand. A lot of people ask me, why did I say, hey, man, 8 minutes, 48 seconds, this, that, and the third, the beginning, United We Stand. That was in reference to George Floyd being choked. Okay. Again, my music is very subliminal, but if you listen to the words, I have a lot of subliminal stuff in there. These things are happening, and they're going to continue to happen. Like I said, some of us have to die in order that some of us live, because to live free with the truth, knowing the truth, and you see the truth, and you don't do anything about it, you become part of the problem. Because if you do not speak up, step up for your fellow man or woman, whether they black, white, transgender, or whatever, then where's your energy going? Can't just put energy out there and pick and choose where it goes. The monks that some of them almost got hit by cars speeding by. Cars literally formed a blockade on the inside. They were in this outside, so they didn't get hit. They're not thinking about race, creed, or color. You know, Martin Luther King was not. In the end, Malcolm was not. You know, everybody had to fight for their freedoms and their rights as Black people. We all know that. But then how did we become our own worst enemy? By not taking care of ourselves. So we got to look at that and say, well, okay, the system is rigged against us, but then why do we need to kill ourselves? All right, that's the one thing that has always bothered me about all this gang crap. You're killing yourself, you know, doesn't make any sense. Whether you've been indoctrinated into that, or whether you think there's no way out, or whether you think that it's cool, or what do you think that, you know, that's just where it is right now. And again, we're living in the last days and time. Doesn't mean the end. It just means the veil is lifted, right? It still doesn't make it the right thing to do. You know, it just doesn't. And everybody knows that. When you take a human life and that energy is snuffed out, you break off a piece of your soul with it. Because now you've ruined or damaged your inside and how you see the world and how you feel. And we shouldn't be in those positions where we're doing this on the reg as Black people. I'm talking to you right now. Black churches, I'm talking to you. Stop trying to tell me that you're trying to help people when you won't speak on certain subjects simply because your take will be low. You won't make as much money. People will stop coming. So don't tell me it ain't about that money sometimes, because I know it is. And I'm not saying all Black churches. I'm just saying some that I know about. Okay? So why don't you talk about dietary health? Why don't you do blood drives instead of frying up vats and vats of fried chicken and pork, serving it at dinners and suppers? Why don't you serve salad and fruit? Why don't you talk about high blood pressure in the pulpit? You talk about the Bible every single Sunday. Why don't you talk about health? Why don't you bring in the gangs into your church, into a sermon, and sit them down if you really want to help and talk to them? All sermons don't have to be from the Bible with the robe and this and that. We ain't in them times no more. That ain't helping, obviously. How long have Black churches been preaching the same thing? That's why I applaud brothers like Jeff Roberson, outside the box thinking with his ministry. I applaud others like that, thinking outside the box. My nephew Brian, outside the box, because they realize the inside the box, it ain't working, because we still killing each other. We still walking down the street, smoking crack, doing meth. Walking across the street, disrespecting old people. Walking around with your pants down behind your behind. We're still doing that. So all your preaching, what is it doing? Women are still out there, young girls, doing certain things with their bodies. What is it doing? Nothing. Again, find that inner peace. Open up that crown chakra and see what you really need to do. You want to help? Do that. I challenge every Black church out there to talk about diet. I challenge you to talk about health. I challenge you. I was talking to a Black minister, and his wife was a minister one day. And my part-time gig, driving Uber. And I said, how come you guys never talk about diet? Every week I hear you talking about God, Jesus, this, that, and the third. And hey, let's face it, everything in that book ain't correct. And he said, you know what? He said, I never thought about that. I said, well, maybe God is giving me a message to tell to you, to tell to your parishioners, stop eating so much fatty food and you won't be going to the hospital with heart attacks at 35 years old. Get out on the track and walk once in a while. These things are all important to your spiritual growth and your spiritual health. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I am far from that. Trust me. But a lot of times I do get downloaded with information. And I did say download it just to share with you. Probably how this whole show started. Right? And as we work on our health spiritually and mentally and physically, all of these little pieces together will make the full picture better. It won't fix it, but it'll make it better, because in the end, we got. We're all we got. So continue to grow. Beautiful spirits out there. I love you all. Everybody that's under the weather for whatever reason, you're going to be all right, because you got all this positive energy and love around you. Thank you, Mr. Mark Lee, my producer. And thank you for everybody that's going to comment and will comment later. And you guys stay safe in this Eastern winter storm thing, whatever we got going on. I don't know. Shout out to Nappy Funk Army 2.0. We're getting ready to start our residency in March if the weather holds, right, at Hub RDU. So shout out Chick Winslow. I love you, bro. Martel and everyone else. Shout out, you guys. Shout out to Tony Cam and the All-Stars of Funk and that crew up there and everything we do for the funk, and P-Funk Radio, Gabe Gonzalez, Robin Circle of P, Larry Funkster Jones, Philly Phil, get on that funk bus, David Webb of the Funk Chronicles, Bootsy and Patty, HJ Entertainment, K&N Jams, Nappy Funk Army, Oak City Music Collective, and Paula down here with Incredible Management. Love you guys. Afterglow 92416, Q&A Entertainment, Brooke Clagett, my Funk Angel, Patricia Diorier, Curtis Wilcox, and Jordan Funk Vinci with their beautiful artwork back here behind me. Thank you, Dr. Brookenstein. Thank you, and everybody out there that tunes in to watch this show. I'm going to be live probably for the next month. I ain't got nothing going on the weekend. So, everybody out here, that's a piece of me, just like this stone right here next to me. And oh, by the way, you can see my crystals and things that I keep around me all the time. And people poo-poo it. And I'm like, hey, this just ain't for you. But this one I pulled out today for Minneapolis, okay? So Minneapolis, I got you. And everybody out there that's struggling mentally or physically, don't forget, the suicide hotline is 988. It's a national number. Make an I Care call today. Call someone. Check up on someone. Those of you that have been making the calls, maybe you need a call. So somebody needs to call you. Maybe the last person you call needs to realize, hey, I need to call Angie, or I need to call this one or Dawn or that one or whatever. Check up on them. Just because you don't hear from people doesn't mean that they're okay all the time. I have a lot of people, we text each other constantly, checking up on each other. We don't hear from each other for a couple of days, and we check. People have done that for me. They check. So it's been kind of cool. The journey has just started. Technically, we're in the month of February, which they say is the second month, but we all know that's all twisted up. Technically, the first of the year is always, in March. Everybody knows that can figure it out. There's no way, things can, be harvested and come to fruition and start at the end in December. So that's another way they're playing with you. Pay attention, Remember, everything you read is always not the truth. AI plays with a lot of stuff. Everything you see is always not the truth. Do the research. Try to stay out of the rabbit holes, but pull the information out and figure it out and decipher it for yourself, and then compare it to everything else. The only true science is mathematics, right? Spirituality has always been a part of mathematics, and mathematics has always been a part of spirituality. The two go hand in hand. Whether you believe it or not, that's on you. But go back and look at the research from all the great ancients and the texts, all the artists, all the scientists, all the spiritual people. They were all very heavily versed in mathematics. We love you guys. Thank you. Funk from the Front Seat, not on the Grind TV. I'm going to let something take us out today. One of my favorite songs by Bootsy, which I really, really love. So you guys sit back, relax. I'll see you guys next Saturday. You all stay safe. And maybe by next Saturday, we'll have all the bugs worked out. Mark Lee can come back on and we can finish this conversation. All right, MPLS. I love you, man.
If I could take you away to a better day, oh, how our love would turn out okay. And if you just listen to me, we could vanish in our sleep, and together just you and me. Understand the position they put us in. If we can only be real about the way that we feel, then we could fly away to another time and space. We could love in our own rejected way. If I could just do to you all of the good things you do, we could squeeze the berry juice out of love. And if that ain't enough, I'll set out fire to your funky stuff. Woman, I'll put the fire out with more love. Daddy's got a real need for you. I know you got a thing for me too. Wherever, whoever, or whatever, we gotta do what we got to do. We're gonna keep on trucking. We ain't just standing on the verge. We're gonna give love all we can muster. Every time we hit the earth, I'd like to tell the world where to go. If they don't like our show, I'd like to kiss this old world goodbye. And if you just listen to me, we could vanish in our sleep. And together just you and me. Hang around, baby. I got more to say. Ooh, baby. That's right. Yeah, baby. So serious. And I used to be a practical joker. Oh yeah, baby. like water.